What I'm going to do today can be received one of two ways. It can either make someone happy and give them joy, or they can be paranoid and uncomfortable. Either way, what I'm going to demonstrate is how to display simple random acts of kindness. I believe that learning how to effectively display random acts of kindness, no matter what the size, is a simple way to make both our lives and the lives around us more joyful. Whether you've ever been on the receiving end or the giving end of random acts of kindness, I'm going to teach you how to make someone else's day a little bit brighter. There's no textbook formula for how to show random acts of kindness. It's going to look different for everybody. And regardless of the method used, the most important question to investigate before performing these acts is why. Each person has to answer this question for him or herself, but make sure to give it some thought. When I began preparing for this speech, I asked myself that same question. I came to the conclusion that I wanted to show kindness toward others because I was tired of thinking about myself. I wanted to take my mind off what I needed or wanted and decide to think about others. Maybe this is the reason for you as well. Maybe the reason is simply because you're bored and you want something to do. Either way, that's great. So what I'm going to teach you today is how to display a random act of kindness. For this lesson, I'll be placing a candy bar in the middle of the sidewalk. It'll be clearly labeled and accessible for the first person that notices. Step 1. Ask yourself why you want to do this. Like I mentioned above, for me, it's just to make someone else's day a little bit brighter. Step number 2. Brainstorm. The possibilities are endless for random acts of kindness. Try to think of something that you yourself would really appreciate. Step number 3. Prepare materials. This could mean going shopping for things or making something at home. Whatever it does not matter the dollar value associated with this act, as long as it gets the point across. For my demonstration, I'm going to be using a Twix peanut butter bar and a Butterfinger. Step number 4. Set up the scene. This is very important. This can make the difference between people feeling cared for and them calling the police because they feel like they're being creeped on. For this demonstration, I'm just going to be placing the candy bar in the open sidewalk. Step number 5, execution. This is also the most fun step. What is most effective for execution is not being identified and therefore associated with the act that takes place. This is important because the entire meaning of a random act of kindness is the idea of randomness. If you are doing the act to get recognized, then it loses all of its meaning. Step number 6, watch it if you can. This is the most interesting part. It's really fun to see how people react to these things. This is like watching a science experiment. Everyone reacts differently. Some are uncomfortable, others are grateful, and some get mad, and some just don't care. The way people respond is out of our control, but it's interesting to see what they would do. Step number 7, keep your mouth shut. Let what's done be done, and don't go around seeking praise or approval from others for your act. This will belittle the act and make the entire ordeal all about you. If that was the case, then you should have done that random act of kindness for yourself. We're going to use Butterfinger. Now we just sit and wait.
There's gonna be a trap connected to that. Is this yours?
No.
Next we got the Twix. Didn't want it. Keep going, keep going. Learning how to display random acts of kindness is an important skill that I think many have lost or forgotten about. We spend so much time thinking about ourselves and forget that there are 7 billion other people in the world. What you do for others may not seem to matter or have any impact on them, and maybe this is true, but we don't know that situation and what they need. This is not our place. What we do know is that kindness is a universal language that all humans can relate to. Random acts of kindness are a way to make others feel cared for, as well as to take some pressure off you. While it may seem like hard to figure out, random acts of kindness are short and sweet. They allow room for the individual to be creative, have fun, and make a stranger's day a little bit brighter.